You're watching TVC News at 10. President Muhammadu Buhari has arrived at his hometown Daura in Katsina State, where he'll be voting in Saturday's elections.
Senior political correspondent Ayodele Ozugbaku was at the Umaru Musa Yar'Adua airport to see the president's plane touch down. His report.
With just few hours to the Presidential National Assembly election, the President and Commander-in-Chief, President Muhammadu Buhari, has just arrived in his home state, Katsina State, to exercise his franchise ahead of tomorrow's presidential election.
The Commission came to the conclusion that proceeding with the election as scheduled is no longer...
Putting behind last Saturday's postponement of the Presidential and National Assembly elections by the Independent National Electoral Commission, President Muhammadu Buhari, the candidate of the All Progressive Congress, and his wife flew into Katsina and were received by Governor Aminu Bello Masari and the Aviation Minister Hadi Serika. Insecurity is a major threat to the election in the northwest states as a result of frequent attacks by armed bandits. 8 of the 34 local government areas are affected, with most of them sharing boundaries with Zamfara State, Kaduna State, and the Rugu Forests. But Governor Masari and the Assistant Inspector General of Police in charge of the election in Katsina State are assuring of a peaceful election.
Actually, we have made adequate arrangement to make sure that even in those flashpoints, people do come out and vote. And we are working with INEC to make sure, and the police and the army to make sure that there is security in those areas.
Challenges that we're having in the frontline states, we have done a threat analysis, and we have identified about 7 or 8 local governments that have a border with Zamfara State. We have done the crime mapping, and we have been able to strategize along with other security agencies.
Mr. Serika, an indigene of the state, is also confident of a large turnout of voters.
Yes, of course, people will turn out tomorrow. The stakes are high, and people are aware of their civic responsibility, especially in Katsina, which is highly politically conscious society. I don't believe that the postponement would cause any low voter turnout.
After the traditional pleasantries, it's time for the president to move, and he bought an helicopter to take him to Daura, where he will cast his votes on Saturday. The number of people that will participate in tomorrow's election will definitely determine how successful the exercise will be in Katsina State, with the highest number of PVC collected around the country. From Umaru Musa Yar'Adua Airport, Ayodele Ozugbaku, TVC News, Katsina State.
Senior political correspondent Ayodele Ozugbaku now joins us for more information. Both the governor and the police personnel appear to be giving assuring words for a peaceful poll. But does what you see on the ground tally with their assuring words?
Yes, Difemi, the stakes are high, drawing from what the Minister of State for Aviation actually said. Stakes are so high, and the president is around. And don't forget, this is the home state of President Muhammadu Buhari, and the security all around the states across the 34 local government naturally has been beefed up. You can see military patrol, security patrol, police patrol all around the states. But talking about those flashpoints, out of 34 local government, you have areas that sharing the same boundary with Zamfara, and you are aware of the security challenges in Zamfara, and those bandits have been able to move into some areas, some parts in Katsina State. But the AIG told me that they've highlighted those areas, and they've been able to mount security and to make sure that people here in Katsina State actually come out without molestation to exercise their franchise. And furthermore, I will tell you that they are all waiting, you know, from the disappointment of last week. They're still waiting to actually exercise their franchise. It's a very, very political conscious state. They are aware, they are politically, the level of political awareness is actually so high. We just left a location where party agents, people are making last-minute strategy and attempt to make sure that they get it right for tomorrow. So I spoke with the resident electoral commissioner earlier, and they told me as at now, all the sensitive material they've got into the local government. By tomorrow morning, they will get to the RAC, and they say RAC, that is registration area centers. So the RACs will be activated very early tomorrow morning. So between the hours of 8 to 2 p.m. tomorrow, you expect to see, before 8 o'clock, you expect to see ad hoc staff of the Independent National Electoral Commission.
Quite optimistic development where you are, Ayo. Today was declared a public holiday. What was the mood like in Katsina?
Yes, everybody trying to, buy and sell. People were traveling to their locations. Because some of the civil servants in the state capital, they did not register here. They registered in their towns, and people were moving out of the state capital in an attempt, last-minute rush, to get transportation to the local governments that are not too close to Katsina city here in the state capital. So everybody is anxious, and they're counting down, and the stakes are really very, very high in Katsina State, Nifemi.
Senior correspondent Ayodele Ozugbaku there with updates on stakeholders' preparation ahead Saturday election in Katsina.